Welcome, family. Another short video I'm coming at you with. This message is to the brothers coming out of the penitentiary, part 2. You got thousands of brothers, black men, that's coming out of the penitentiary and hitting the streets after doing 20, 25 years. And I'm not talking about the killers and the murderers. I'm talking about the ones that caught those bogus dope cases back in the 90s during that Republican crime bill and the war on drugs. Listen up, brothers. Check it. Look. A lot of you getting out after doing 25, 30 years. When you went in, your children, they was either babies or they was shorties. But they grown now. A lot of you guys that's, getting out or about to get out, you got grandchildren you never met before. Okay? But I just want to go through a quick list of what you need to look out for when you get out. And that's why I always say that the family structure, is the most conducive part of anybody's rehabilitation. First, you're going to have your baby mamas. Now, a lot of you, some of you had what I call your bottom female, as the players say, your bottom female that was there, kept you on the books, held you up, through your time of, the low point in your life, which is incarceration. And she's cool. That I'm not talking to you, because when you get out, she gonna be right there. And she ain't gonna let them ratchet ass females, or she's not gonna let you get back into that game no more. You dig? So I'm not talking to you. But for you brothers that's coming out and you single, your baby mama's coming. She gonna see if she can rekindle that old flame. Now you have to understand that she's been out here in the streets for 20, 25 years in different relationships. She probably got a couple of more kids or whatever. But then she see you a breath of fresh air. Because see, let me tell you something about incarceration, brothers. Is when you've been locked up for 20, 25 years and you get out, that can be very scary. It can be very scary for you. Because hell, I can just about imagine, man, I haven't seen my neighborhood or my homeboys or whatnot in 25 years. And the neighborhood is not going to look the same. The same stores, the same block is not going to look the same anymore. And it can be very scary getting out after doing all of that time. But your main priority, brothers that's getting out, is to make sure that you focus on yourself. That's your main priority right there, is focusing on yourself. And what I mean by that, as soon as you step out of that penitentiary, as soon as they open up them gates, head your ass down there and make sure you comply with that parole. Because that parole, you already know. If you've been in there for 25 years and it's your first bit, most of the niggas that's coming in the penitentiary is parole violations, or they doing 2 and 3 years. Then they get out, then they come right back. So it's imperative that you finish that parole. Okay? Now, let's get to the women. The women gonna always be a part of the picture. A part of the big picture, baby. Look here. The thing about being incarcerated, there's an old saying with the convicts, the penitentiary preserves you. So when you get out, you're gonna be on swole, you're gonna be looking good, sober, and you're basically innocent. And women, they're going to be running, knocking themselves over trying to get at you. Because you have to understand, once again, the last 20, 25 years, the black community is basically, it's on its last leg. You have all these single mothers, you have all these young men, a lot of these women is messing around with men that's 20 and 25 years younger than them, and the men that's out here, they weak men. They ain't strong. They ain't cut like us. They're not cut like us. Because most of the strong brothers, they lay locked up, sorry to say. And it's only a few of us like myself that's out here. So you have to be very careful with them women. The first thing you want to do, I got to have me a woman. No, you don't, man. If you've been doing time for 20, 25 years, what's a year or 6 months to get yourself situated out here in these streets before you lay down or, you know, get you that first piece of pussy? Can you feel me? Now, this issue right here is what brings a lot of brothers back to the penitentiary, them drugs. Soon as you get out, you think you can pull the wool over your PO's eyes, but I'm going to smoke some of this weed. This weed ain't the same as it was back in 96, back in 94, 1990. This weed is not the same. You know, this weed is, they done spliced the seeds and genetically modified the weed and everything else, where it's 10 times more powerful than what we were smoking on back in the 90s and them 80s. You dig? Then you have these other new drugs, man. You got mollies, you know, you got the E-pills, you got the scripts, you know, you got the lean, you know, you got all these new different type of drugs. A lot of them are not new, but they hit the streets, like just like crack hit the streets back in the 80s out of the blue. Okay? So, the message to you brothers that's getting out after doing all of that time, look, man, comply with your parole. You know, give yourself a plan. You know, get with the, you know, because there's still pockets of brothers out here, man, it's not on that bullshit. My best bet is to get with your family. And if your family on some negativity, there is programs for you brothers that's just getting out of the penitentiary after doing all of that damn time. The jobs are felon friendly now. They even giving you the right to vote again. It's a whole lot of opportunities that wasn't there 10 years ago for a man that's getting out the penitentiary. So, this is my message again. When you touch down on the streets, I hope you tune in to The Real Deal out of Gary, Indiana, and just listen to them bullet points of, first you see your children. First you embrace your family if they positive. Leave them baby mamas alone, because it didn't work when you went in. It's not going to work now. These women out here, these women is not the same as they used to be back in the day. They more thirsty, but you got some good women. I'm not going to put all them women in that category. I'm not. And you got the drugs. If you can stay away from all of them, you'll be successful out here on these streets, man. You'll be successful. Then maybe you can stand in front of a bunch of youth, troubled youth, and tell them, hey, look, what's the trials and tribulations of getting into that life? You dig? You know, and just remember, you know, when you're incarcerated, man, and you're doing all of that time, after 20 and 30 years, that's a generation of time that you've done. These streets is not the same no more. So you have to look at it like that. You have to look at yourself like a newborn baby. You're innocent. You're very innocent out here. You know, and just because you 225, 5% body fat, you haven't took a drink or smoked in 20 years, they'll still suck your ass up like a leech. And if you like this video, subscribe. And this is The Real Deal out of Gary, Indiana. GI, baby. Peace.